Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh.
The lungs of the earth are going to be given back to it, which is all these trees and all of these flowers, and there's going to be a whole total different vibration.
Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai.
The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary, and I will make the place of my feet glorious. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fella is come up against us.
Because the Lord is going to restore everything. You're going to have a total different vibration on the earth, a total different smell. You're not going to be walking down the street and smell shit and piss, and no foul odors or nothing like that, because the lungs of the earth are going to be given back to it, which is all these trees and all of these flowers, and it's going to be a whole total different vibration. You're going to see the aura and how things are going to change and how elevated things are going to be. Our senses are going to be heightened. Everything about us is going to be glorified.
The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary, and I will make the place of my feet glorious.
Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai.
The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fella is come up against us. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing.
Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to our younger brothers. And peace and blessings and salutations to the hopefully out there pushing this word of truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful leg, the believers, the listeners, came back into the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right, and what I want to get into, tonight, dealing with the devil, is defeated, Esau, Edom. All right, and everything that we're seeing the devil is doing, is leading this man to the end of his kingdom and his captivity. Matter of fact, let's start there. Okay, because this is what the devil can't get around. Everything that he's trying to do, he's trying to establish, a new world order through technology. He wants to change, people's DNA, mRNA. Okay, he wants complete control, complete surveillance. Okay, he wants to do away with private ownership. He wants to merge people with his technology because the devil's trying to avoid the inevitable, and that's the fall of his empire, the decline of his empire, man. Okay, because when you read Revelation 13:9, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints, man. And this is what the devil can't escape. No matter how much money he has, no matter how much technology he has, no matter how much he's deceived the people, this devil still got to deal with captivity and slaughter. Okay, and ultimately the end of his empire, and eventually the end of his race. Okay, the end of his lineage, man. You see, he's the nation, The only nation on the planet Earth that's prophesied that the Lord is going to end this nigga's whole lineage, man. Okay, this is what this nigga got to look forward to. Okay, Third World War, which is going to go nuclear. The return of Yahweh Shai, okay, with slaughter and great wrath. The enslavement of his whole people, along with these other heathens. Okay, then after 1,000 years, he's done away with. Okay, and these heathens, they would, they are allowed. They're going to be allowed to exist. Okay, in our kingdom, as servants, as handmaids, bondmen. Okay, in servitude forever, in righteousness, man. You see, but the devil, his lineage is eradicated according to the scriptures. That's why you get the book of matter of fact, let's get the book of Job 18. You see, Job goes in on the wicked, man. You get into these, books of Job, the chapter of Job. He goes in, okay, on the wicked. Okay, this is Job 18 and 5. It said, "Yeah, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine." Okay, and the left hand wickedness and magic that this man had used to run the earth, okay, that he put forth as the light. He put forth his left hand magic, okay, is the light. The earth is being ran through left hand, all right, wisdom, man, okay, which is not true light. You see, it's an imitation of true light, but you go into his, enlightenment philosophers, they have all these different philosophies outside of Yahweh Bashim Shai, okay, and this is what this man uses, to run the earth, man, which is all philosophies of confusion, chaos, war, death, tyranny, oppression, okay, violence, all right, and this man presented this as light, okay, but the Lord is getting ready to put that light out, man, okay, and it says, "The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him," man. Okay, so the Lord is getting ready to put this man lights out, man. That's why you see he's lacking the wisdom, okay, to make the moves necessary to keep this thing afloat. Because the Lord is putting this man lights out. He has that wisdom. The Lord gave him wisdom on the left hand side to rule the earth, and now that wisdom is diminishing, man. Okay, so now we're seeing tackiness at an all-time high, decline. Okay, the shit show is at an all-time high. Okay, because the Lord is diminishing this man. You see, he's breaking this man down, getting him ready for what? A removal, an overthrow. Okay, and Esau, he's trying to prevent it, but he can't. He can only play into it. Okay. When you go into, let's keep going. I'm gonna jump down. I'm gonna jump around. It says, "Terror shall make him afraid on every side." It's Job 18 and 11. It said, "Terrors, all right, shall make him afraid on every side and drive him to his feet." So he's going from a place of, rest. Okay, because the devil used to having things going this way, having the ups on everybody, being generations ahead of everyone else. But prophecy don't walk this man down. Okay, now prophecy is in lockstep with this. You see, and he can't shake it. So now he's wearied in his counsel. Now he's driven to his feet. He's not comfortable, man. He's moving with a sense of urgency, man. Okay, that's why everything feels rushed. Okay, that's why this man just going from one distraction to the next, one crisis to the next is back to back. Okay, this man has picked up the tempo because he's moving with urgency now. Okay, he's not sitting in the lazy boy. Okay, laid back, feet kicked up, trying to get this new world order off the ground. No, this nigga is frantic. Okay, he's terrorized by losing his empire, and it's put a sense of urgency on his ass, man. Okay, the spirit of prophecy, which is the spirit of Yahweh Shai, is forcing this man, all right, to up his tempo, man, to where he's not chilling. Okay, I say he's frantic, he's scrambling. Okay, so jumping down to uh verse 14, it says his confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors, man, because the devil, has operated, in secrecy, but that's been exposed. Okay, the devil used to operate from, being able to control the narrative, not being questioned. Okay, all these nations just fully in line with what the devil got going on, but now there's rebelling against this devil. These nations, there's certain alliances, there's certain treachery and plots planned against this nigga, man. Okay, the elites, they don't agree. You see, so his confidence is waning. Okay, you see, Trump, pull back from, the Iran because their confidence is waning, even in the sword. Okay, because the Lord has raised up countermeasures to the West, this beast system. Okay, there was a time when this beast system just did everything that it wanted to do, but now there's resistance. Certain places he got to shred light. Okay, so we're seeing the devil confidence being rooted out of his tabernacle, man. Okay, which is his dwelling, his confidence. Okay, of him ruling the earth. He's prideful, but this devil don't think that this devil ain't weary. He's still prideful, but this nigga is weary. He's troubled in the spirit. Okay, because the Lord is breaking this devil down. This devil is defeated, man. Okay, this devil is completely defeated according to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. It says his confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors, which is Yahweh Shah, man. Okay, everything that the devil is doing is leading him to where he gonna have to deal with Yahweh Shah. That's why he gotta go deal with our cause this third world war to go haywire eventually. It's gonna start off conventional, okay, conventional warfare, and then it's eventually gonna go nuclear, and then it's Yahweh Shah. Okay, so his path is laid out for him. His path to destruction and enslavement is laid out for him. Okay, and he ain't got no more moves other than what the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai is telling this nigga through the prophets what he got to do. He don't have no more moves outside that, man. The MOTB got to be mandated. This third world's war. Well, the MOT, which within that is going to be Jacob's trouble, tribulation, then this third world's war, then Yahweh Shai. You see, everything outside of that, man, this nigga just doing shit for distraction's sake. He just doing things, man. Okay, he operate outside of that, but this devil, he only got a few moves left, and it's bringing him to the king of terrors, man. Okay, and it says, it shall dwell in his tabernacle, because it is none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation, man. And that's that nuclear war. That's the third world war going nuclear, man. All these missiles that's going to come to America. America going to send missiles, but the bulk of the missiles are coming to America, man. Okay, the Lord has these missiles strategically placed amongst all these different nations. Okay, strategically, so they can be shot on America and turn this bitch to a lake of fire, man. Okay, it's going to be a nuclear exchange, but the exchange, all right, is going to be mainly from these other nations to America, man. Okay, verse 16 said, his roots shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off, man. And this is when the devil is going to be completely cut off as a lineage, man. Okay, the Lord going to do away with the lineage of Esau. So this devil is going to be completely defeated on another level to where he doesn't exist anymore, man. Okay, and this is what these devils are trying to avoid. And this is how we know eventually he's going to go he gonna go all out, man, because everything's at stake. Esau got everything to lose, and he's gonna lose it. He literally got everything to lose, and he's gonna lose it. He's gonna lose his power, his kingdom, his infrastructure, his authority, his wealth, okay, his position in the earth, you know, and then he's gonna completely be annihilated, man. He's finna lose everything, man. He's finna lose his right to exist as a nation, man. This devil finna lose everything. He's defeated on another level, okay. So it says, his remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street, man. And this devil prides himself on being the center of attention. Okay. He prides himself, you know, on being the talk of the earth. You know, he exalts himself, he markets himself as this, you know, this great nation of people. Okay. But the Lord finna have it to where this man not even remembered. You see? The kingdom gonna be so popping, man, and this devil gonna be done away because it's an everlasting kingdom, man. Okay, look at these great kingdoms that have came and went. No one talks about, you know, the splendor, okay, of the Neo-Babylonian Empire, man. How often does Nebuchadnezzar come up in the daily conversation? Okay, how much does, you know, Cyrus come up in the daily conversation, man? All these great kingdoms that have come and went. You see, it's like you think about it. The earth had the answer to these kingdoms, to these governments at one time. The Syrian Empire, the Babylonian, Medo-Persian Empire. The earth had the answer to those empires at one time. Okay, now it's like they was never in power, man. Okay, and it's gonna be on another level with Esau because he's not going to exist as a people anymore, man. Okay, there's not going to be a remnant, a trace of this devil ever being in rulership, man. Okay, the Lord's going to block this man out. Okay, because even when you go here, verse 17 says, his remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street. But then when you go here to Exodus 17, let's get this, Exodus 17 and 14. It says, and the Lord Yahweh Bashim al-Shah said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua, for I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. So the Lord promised that he will put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven, which is in the earth, man. Because who runs this current Edomite rulership is Amalek, man. He's at the forefront. All right, and he's the worst of Esau, man. Amalek is the most degenerate, the most violent, the most conniving of Esau. All these Edomites are wicked and gonna be judged and gonna be, you know, cut off as a people. Okay, but as Amalek is at the forefront of this, man, everything that this devil created, you know, from the Renaissance to now, all right, is gonna be deleted in the earth, man. The Lord is going to delete this man's rulership, man. Okay, because this devil with his technology, he wants to delete the prophecies of the Most High. He wants to delete people. Okay, you have this term called post-human with you know how they talk with AI. He wants to delete people, man. Okay, robots and you know this man just crazy, man. Okay, this man is beyond a madman. That's an understatement with this devil, man. And that's why the Lord is going to intervene with great power, man, and stop this man in his tracks, man. Remove all authority from this nigga, put him in captivity, okay, and shut this man up. Okay, and then he's going to annihilate their lineage, okay, to where Edomite doesn't exist ever again. Okay, it says, and Moses built an altar and called the name of it Yahweh Shai Nasah, which is the Lord is my banner. Okay, or Yahweh is my banner. For For he said, because the Lord has sworn that the Lord Yahweh Bashim al Shah will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. And now we at the point where this war is going to come to a head. Okay? The Lord is orchestrating this third world's war. And that's the scene where Yahweh Shah comes into this realm. Okay? And finalizes the judgment from the heavens. Yahweh Shah is coming with that final judgment from the heavens in this third world's war, man. You know, to put down all heathen authority forever. Heathens will never have standing militaries again. Okay, they'll never have the ability to even wage war against one another in our kingdom, man. Okay, they're going to go into servitude. Okay, it's going to be a kingdom. It's going to be a agrarian kingdom. It's going to be a kingdom of agriculture and plush and wealth and abundance of resources. You see, the earth itself is going to flourish under the rulership of Israel, beginning with Yahweh Shai. Okay, so we in the generation where the Lord is going to finalize the judgment of these heathens, beginning with Esau, Edom. Okay, because even when you go to the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is that's that last, it's that place of the final war. Okay, but when you go to it, this is on Joel 3 and 12. It says, "Let the heathen be wakened and come to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about." Okay, so you have these nations being gathered to this region of the earth. Okay, so a lot of military hardware being moved. A lot of these nations, okay, navies are going to this region of the earth. Okay, in the Red Sea, in the Persian Gulf. Okay, which that's in that region. You see, but this is that region is going to be the main stage for this third world war. Okay, and Yahweh Shai, when he comes on the scene, he's coming to their region. Okay, to obliterate all these militaries, man. Okay, now when you go into Jehoshaphat, which is Yahweh Shaphat, and it goes into Yahweh as judge. Okay, Yahweh has judge. You know, and when you go into let me see. Oh yeah, let me get this word. Shaphat. When you go into Shaphat, it goes into a theophonic, okay, or godlike advent for final judgment. Okay, a theophonic advent for final judgment, because that's the final judgment. This third world war is going to be the final judgment. Okay, these heathens is going to be stripped from all authority, all military might. Okay, forever. This it. This was the heathens' last hurrah, led by Esau Edom. Okay, so Yahweh Shai is coming to execute judgment. Okay, and he's coming to strip these heathens of all authority. That's why it speaks about Yahweh Shai having what, many crowns. Okay, because Yahweh Shai is coming to strip all authority from these heathens, man. Okay, he's coming to strip all authority from all these heathens. You see, all military might from these heathens, man, and he's going to transfer that third. He's going to transfer that authority upon himself. Okay, and amongst, all right, those first fruits of the elect. Okay, so this is the times that we're going into, and this devil, he's defeated. Okay, Esau gonna have many moves left, man. Okay, and every move he make is just leading to his overthrow and his captivity, man. Okay, and eventually his annihilation. You see, okay, what this nigga got planned, what secret weapon he gonna pull out, you know, Project Blue Beam, fake second coming, and once he get done with all that, okay, the verdict still stands. Okay, because he is. So what this devil doing is irrelevant. That's why the scriptures say, why do the heathen rage and imagine a vain thing? Okay, so all these little schemes and plots, and he think he got a counter for prophecy, and he gonna do this, and he got something nobody know about. That this going none of this shit gonna work, man. All right, when he get done doing all this bullshit, his ass is going. He's getting stripped from power. All his power is gonna be stripped from him. His place shall be found in heaven no more. His position in rulership shall be found no more. Okay, and he's going to captivity. Job 18 and on 17 again, his remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street. He shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. Okay? He's going to be literally chased out of the world, man. His lineage is going to be removed completely from the earth. Okay? There will be no more Edomite DNA in existence, man. Okay? He shall neither have son nor nephew among his people, nor any remaining in his dwellings, because the men, that's who bring the nation back. Okay? So this seed of Esau is going to be eradicated. It will not be able to reproduce itself anymore. This man is going to be uprooted. Okay? That's why I said roots going to be pulled up from beneath and his branches, okay, from above, man. That's complete removal. Okay? The scriptures say, the wicked have spread themselves like a green bay tree. Matter of fact, let's read verse 16. Job 8 and 16 again. His root shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off. Now, when you go into Psalms, let's get Psalms 37. I believe it's 35. Psalm 37 and 35. Okay, it reads, I have seen the wicked in great power and spreading himself like a green bay tree. Okay, and this is Esau Edom. And right now he's in his great power, and his wickedness has spread throughout the earth. His branches, Edomite, his reach and influence reaches throughout the earth. So like a great tree with wide, reaching branches, man. Okay? The elites, have all this, these central banks everywhere. Democracy is everywhere. Okay? Lewdness is everywhere. But this is the wicked in his great power spreading himself like a green bay tree. It says, yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yeah, I saw him, but he could not be found, because that's him being completely uprooted and all his branches broken off. Okay, never to come back. Okay, so this is what these devils is fighting against, man. That's why we know he's gonna lose it and go all out. So you get back to Job 18 and 19, it said he shall neither have son nor nephew among his people, nor any remaining in his dwelling. They that come after him shall be astonished at his day, as they that went before were frightened, man. It's going to be amazement, the judgment that the Lord got for this devil, man. It's going to be a sense of amazement how the Lord going to do this nigga, man. It says, surely such are the dwellings of the wicked, and this is the place of him that knoweth not the Most High, man. Okay, so this is this nigga Lot. This is destiny, okay, to be overthrown from power, enslaved, okay, and then eradicated from the earth. Okay, this nigga Lot. This is his destiny. This is manifest destiny part 2. Okay, because it's boasted about his manifest destiny to to conquer the earth. As he conquered the earth, he came to the Americas and conquered the new land, and he called it manifest destiny. Well, you're exactly right. Okay, but that wasn't the end. Okay, manifest destiny has a sequel that doesn't go in your favor. Man, the first manifest destiny of you coming, back into power during the Renaissance and conquering, okay, the earth. You see, and wickedness with the sword. Okay, that was part one. Everything worked in your favor. Now everything is getting ready. Everything is working against you, man. For part two, which is all bad. Part two is all bad for you, man. Manifest destiny. Part two is all bad for you. Okay. 1 Corinthians 15 and 57. It says, "But thanks be to the Most High, which giveth us the victory through our Lord Yahweh Shai Hamashiach. Therefore, my beloved," okay, so we already have the victory. You see, the victory is sealed. What Yahweh Shai did on the cross, that sealed the victory. Okay, there's nothing that can be done, okay, to overturn the victory that Israel has in Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, and it was granted from the Most High. Nothing can overturn it. This devil doesn't have nowhere near the capability to begin to overturn it, man. Okay, that's why we see things going exactly how the Lord said they will go. Okay, because this is all working towards our victory, man. Everything we see this devil doing is working towards our victory, man. You know, call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. You know, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, man. You know, it says, 1 Corinthians 15 and 58, "Therefore, my beloved brethren," it says, "be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord." Man, our labor is not in vain, man. The Lord is giving us the victory over this whole beast system, man. The Lord is finna tear this place down, literally, man, for the sake of his elect, for the sake of his holy name, for the sake of righteousness, man. Okay? So we're not doing this labor in vain, man. This labor is conditioning us for the next rulership, man. Okay, after the victory, man. You know, so we're really working towards something, man. Okay, this is not something to do just to do, man. Okay, just to be different. No, man, this is really a victory that we're working towards, man. Okay, and it's already solidified, all right, by Yahweh Shai. You know, so Lord will, you know, you brothers and you sisters edified once again, and give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Kakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great example to us young brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations, hopefully, Shalom.